Dr. Du.
Good
All right.
evening.
Awesome.
Okay. Good evening, Dr. Edu.
Good evening. Hopefully everybody had a great week. It's the holidays, so we gradually get in there. I think it's how many days to the end of the year? 11. Well, good stuff.
The
Yeah.
last meeting
Merry
for the
Christmas
year,
in
right?
advance to everyone. Yes, go ahead, Mahmoud.
I said this is the last meeting for the year.
Yes, this is going to be our very last cyber chat. And I think we have a lot of folks on the road and stuff. So it's going to be interesting, specifically from the cyber news that we are going to be looking at, and then also what 2025. We are doing some guesstimations on what 2025 hold for cybersecurity professionals. So kindly hold one whilst we start time now. All right, everyone. We are starting time now. You are all welcome to Eretmis Cyber Chat. We do this every Friday night, 7 p.m. Eastern. And like I always say, it's Friday night. You could have been anywhere else, but you chose to be here to share in the knowledge and also build yourself as a cybersecurity professional. And we appreciate it. And we always make sure you're going to get something for your toolbox before you leave tonight. So for tonight, we are going to be looking at what 2025 holds for cybersecurity professionals, for folks already in the industry and folks aspiring to get into the cybersecurity space. So is cybersecurity still going to be what it is, and is it going to increase in terms of what opportunities we have for cybersecurity professionals? That is what we are going to be looking at. So this is brought to you by Eretmis Academy, a cybersecurity institute based in New York, and we teach various cybersecurity courses, and we look at different niches in cybersecurity as well. And I'm going to be your only pilot tonight. I'm Dr. Emmanuel Edu. I'm a cybersecurity professional. I'm the CEO of Eretmis Inc., a cybersecurity consulting company, and also a QSA, PCI QSA company, and then also the founder of Eretmis Academy. So a former uh, captain in the United States Army, and a former professor at University of Maryland Global Campus and CTC. And I love teaching, talking about cybersecurity, mentoring, and all that for all our Eretmis families, all our Eretmis family members who are on here. You know how we do in the Eretmis space. So Eretmis Academy we are partners with CompTIA. We are authorized CompTIA partners. And what that means is that we have, as authorized CompTIA partner, we have 20% discount on all vouchers, exams vouchers. So we push that, to our Eretmis members, and then also to folks who join us on uh, our Eretmis Cyber Chat. So if you are looking to sit for any CompTIA certification, reach out and we will help you with a 20% discount. Now, this is only the discount on, being an authorized partner is only with CompTIA, ISACA and ISC Square and other certification bodies. They are yet to come up with such a program. So, and for everybody on here, if you've written any cybersecurity certification, you know that every 3 years you are supposed to renew. So, two ways of renewing: you can either sit for the exams again, or you can use what we call continual educational points. And if you are here tonight, just type in the chat, put in the hashtag Team Live, and you'll be able to use that to renew your cybersecurity certification. That this session counts, and all other sessions that we do, they count as one point for your continuous educational points. And depending on the certification, the type of certification, sometimes they will need 20, sometimes they will need 15, thereabout. So as many of these as you get, you just have to type Team Live and take a screenshot of it, and you should be able to use that to renew your certification. And for we have in the Eretmis space, Eretmis family, we have our general cybersecurity group. If you're interested in joining the WhatsApp group, a very informative group, and we are very disciplined in there. So if you're interested in joining, we are going to post the link and you'll be able to use that to join. Also, everything that we do for Cyber Chat is being transmitted on YouTube, and you can also get all other episodes that you probably might missed on our YouTube channel. We encourage you to share the YouTube channel and also to subscribe. And for tonight, we are going to be looking at our cyber news as usual, and then we will look at 2025 career opportunities for cybersecurity professionals. So for cyber news, we have some interesting. The first one is more of educational. So anybody knows what this is? Some of the old folks on here will not that old, but um, some of the folks who were using computers back in the day, early 2000s, prior to 2000s, early 2000 coming down, they might know what this is.
Is that a floppy disk?
Yes, that is a floppy disk. Good old floppy disks. What was this used for? Anyone?
Storing data.
Yeah. How much data could we store on a floppy disk? Like, what do you think is the storage capacity of a floppy disk?
1.44 megabytes.
Yes, 1.44 megabytes. Okay, yes. Anybody else? Could we store, I mean, it's 1.44 megabytes. Like what were some of the things that we could store with the floppy disks?
A lot, actually. Microsoft used to sell Windows and floppy disks.
Yeah,
I
how
have
many
like,
floppy? Yes.
I think 7 or 8.
Yes, very true. So mostly they'll come in a stack, right?
Yeah.
And each one had a part of it, on it. So you're going to put this in, put that in. So we've come a long way, right? Now, a reason why we are looking at floppy disks is today, or I mean, I think I'm not sure if it's exactly today or tomorrow. Our what we know to be ransomware attack is 35 years. This week, let's say this week, or within the last 4 or 5 days, is 35 years. And how it started is the reason why we were looking at the floppy disks. So the very first ransomware was distributed on a floppy disk. And you might be thinking, but how? I mean, for floppy disks, you have to physically insert it into your system for it to actually take effect. So what happened was that there was a conference. I think it was UN conference about AIDS, and there is one doctor who, I don't know, for whatever reason, his original intent for the first ransomware attack, but he mailed out a number of floppy disks that contain the malware that he had created. And people just, you receive that in the mail. And those times, really, like in the 80s, people were not very much up to speed with what we know cybersecurity to be and cyber threats to be, right? So, and that single act has now led into, technological advancement and everything, whereby now ransomware attacks, they've become a multi-billion criminal enterprise, right? So we are looking at 35 years, and this is just to give you some insight onto how this whole ransomware then started. In this year, there's been a lot of ransomware attacks. And the average for companies who got hit with ransomware attack, the average payout or what the ransom was, the average ransom was about $2 million. And these attackers sometimes when they take your money, they wouldn't even give you back your data, right? So this has come a long way, and it's projected that by 2031, victims will be paying annually. Ransomware attacks will be costing the world around $265 billion, not million, $billion, which is a lot of money, right? And that also calls for more cybersecurity professionals to protect the cyberspace. Now, just a little background into the attack that I was talking about. The very first ransomware attack, and I think the name was Dr. Joseph Pab. He's considered to be the father of ransomware because he's the first one who actually instigated this. So, like I was saying, he distributed floppy drives or floppy disks in 1989 through post. So postal service, he was posting this, and was posting this to participants who attended, I think, 20,000 attendees of the World Health Organization's AIDS conference in Stockholm. So he will send it out, and they will think, oh yeah, this is probably from the conference. They will get it, and he said it, and their system got infected with that malware, right? And eventually, they were able to trace it to him, and an arrest warrant was issued, for them to bring him to the books. But this is how ransomware started, and ransomware is 35 years this week. So I don't know if that is a good thing or a bad thing, right? So this is how it started. So the first cyber news is more educational and some fun facts about some of these attacks that we have in the cyberspace. Right now, the next one also borders on compliance. So anybody knows Ryanair? Folks who have traveled to Europe or have stayed in Europe for a while? Ryanair is very popular in Europe. Anybody knows about Ryanair? Oh, I was hoping. Okay, so I was stationed in Germany for a little bit, so I know about Ryanair, right? So for Ryanair, for you to have a better understanding of how they operate and who they are in the United States. Ryanair will be the equivalent of Spirit or Southwest, or those flights that their main goal is to sell cheap tickets, right? And Ryanair, I remember like when I was stationed in Europe, right, you could get flights for maybe from, let's say, Germany to London. You could get ticket for 80 euro or 65 euro, right? It depends, and you could travel literally the whole of Europe for per flight for less than 100 euros, right? So you could do like a whole spin, and probably with $1,000 you could visit more than almost maybe 10 countries, right, within the aerospace. Now, why is Ryanair in the news? So what happened was Ryanair is being sued for 450 million. So that is the fine that they are trying to hit them with. Ryanair is a billion-dollar company, right? Airline. And why are they being sued for 450 million dollars? I think for in euro is probably 420 or thereabout somewhere. Now this is for a alleged violation of GDPR. So this is why they are being sued, right? And this two lessons from this, all the privacy data privacy frameworks that are out there. We discussed that when we looked at data privacy versus data security. These frameworks, they are not a joke. So companies who are not taking these serious, they could end up coughing up a lot of money, right? And let's look into the details of what the violation is really. This is an airline company. What can they do to violate GDPR? Now, can anybody tell me maybe two or three or maybe one apiece, one of the key items under GDPR, right? What are some of the things that GDPR seeks to enforce? Anyone? You can look it up. There's a couple of them. So, and it pertains to customers, right? Protection of customers' data. What are some of the things that is advocating for?
Yes, sir. Okay. There's a right to forget. That's the right for the customer to request for their data to be deleted.
Yes, that is one key part of it. Mamus, please go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's all similar to the CCP as well, but I think one of the right is the right to know, then the right to option, then also right to no discrimination or so.
Okay, yes, you're on that path. Adrian, please go ahead.
I think they restrict what you can use the data for, and also keeping it beyond the contract agreement for use of that data, among other things.
Yes, true. Anybody else?
Yeah,
Yes.
I think you have to have a data protection officer.
Oh, say that again. Obira.
Sorry, I didn't raise my hand. You have to have a data protection officer designated for the company.
Okay. Okay.
I think
Yes.
I think that the data should reside inside the European Union. It should not be out of. It should not be out of the UE.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. I think everybody made a very valid point. So the main goal behind GDPR is protecting consumers or customer data. And what they mean by protecting it is not just protecting it in a vacuum or protecting it without the knowledge of the owner of the data, right? So owners of the data, one of the key things GDPR preaches is the owner of the data has the right to know what the data is being used for. They have the right to, tell you, hey, I want to opt out, so delete my data, right? And also, they have the right to give you their data voluntarily, right? You are not supposed to force them to give you their data, right? They have to give it to you, out of their own free will. But what happened and reason why, the agency that is suing Ryanair might have a case is the European Center for Digital Rights. They might have a case, and we are going to dig into this. And you tell me what your opinion is, right? So they filed this claim saying that Ryanair is forcing its customers to set up an account and submit their invasive biometrics before they can book a flight, right? And Ryanair is a $1 billion is a $1 billion company for a reason, because people really patronize Ryanair, right? So if you are in Europe and you want to go to anywhere else in Europe, fly to anywhere, and if you want to fly Lufthansa or Delta, you are probably going to pay for routes that you are going to pay 400 or maybe 350, 600. Ryanair will charge you less than €100, right? Or even for dollars, like $100 or something. So people really patronize Ryanair. Now, you might be thinking, so if they are forcing you to give their biometrics, then why don't you just take another flight? The reason is what I've just given, right? So people just want something. You go to Europe, you just want, something that is a bit low on budget for you to be able to move around. So people kind of have no option but to use Ryanair in some cases. And they also have set up their system whereby they are kind of forcing you to give the information before you can use their services. And that is where, the violation probably is stemming from. So the suit is saying what they are doing is against GDPR. And the details of it, we are going to get into here, because Ryanair also claims they have two ways for you to set up an account. And they are also, so the agency, the European Center for Digital Rights, they are pushing that you don't need to create an account to book a flight with an airline. Is that the same for American Airlines? Not American Airlines, but airlines in the United States. For Delta, for other flights, do you have to create an account before you can buy a ticket? Anyone? Has
No.
anyone tried, or you've not paid attention to that?
I don't think you need to have an account. I've been able to book a flight even with a third party without going directly to the airline.
Okay. Anybody else? Now, if you want to purchase directly from the airline's website, do you have to create an account?
No, you can purchase it as a guest. It gives you the option to check out as a guest.
Yes. So almost all the airlines, it gives you that option to buy a ticket without creating an account, right? And still for Ryanair, I don't really. Probably they have like their business, reasons behind what they are doing. But if you purchase a ticket with an airline, they still have your information anyways, right? So they still have your information. I mean, you just gave them your credit card, debit card information. So, and they attribute that flight, that reservation to you. And you have to give your name, your address for the bailing and everything. So literally, they can still get your information without you creating an account. So I don't know where the disconnect is with Ryanair or what they are using the account creation for, right? So let's jump into some more details. So this is what they are talking about, or reason why they are being sued. And like we rightly said, most airlines don't need you to create an account. But for Ryanair, you have to set up an account. And setting up an account, they have two different options. So you can either give them your biometrics and that type of information for them to verify who you are, who you truly are, or if you choose not to give all that information, they have you can still fill out application and everything, but then they will request a handwritten signature and a photograph of your personal ID before you'll be able to fly. Right. So most people don't want to go through all that hassle, so I'll just give the biometrics, right? So they are kind of forcing you to give the biometric information. If you don't want to go that route, that is fine. But they're gonna put some hurdles in your way. That is still going to kind of force most people to just give them that information. So which this agency is saying, or it's not just them saying, which is against GDPR. And in that light, Ryanair is seen not to be complying with GDPR because the consent requirement here in GDPR is being violated. So, customers need to give their consent, but here they are kind of being forced to, give that information, right, before they can fly on Ryanair. So, do you think, or you can look up the consent requirements of GDPR right now and maybe give your opinion. Maybe one or two folks can give your opinion, and then we are going to jump in. So, what do you think? Do you think they are actually violating GDPR, or they are giving customers options, but people choose to go the easy way route, the easy way out? Adrian, please go ahead.
Thank you, Doc. I think that even if they're giving an option, if I gave you an option to allow me to kill you, it's still murder, and the state laws will talk over that. So I think that even though they have my data, they're supposed to be able to delete it only, to keep it only for as long as the contract I have with them to have that ticket and fly with them. After I have paid for the ticket and I have flown, that contract comes to an end, so they shouldn't be keeping even my data. To now force everybody or anybody to create an account is to keep your data way longer than the contract, which will be against the GDPR. Also, the need for biometric actually contravenes minimal intrusion to client or data subject. And I'm not sure if they did a data protection, data privacy impact assessment, as will be required by DPA in terms of the modus operandi on that ticket. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. But then also playing the devil's advocate, if you create an account, you are at liberty to delete your account with them as well.
It's them who are supposed to delete the data, not me, because they're the ones who are taking my data.
Okay. Anybody else?
They're the data controller and
Okay.
data processor. They're the ones who are supposed to make sure that happens. Sorry for interruption.
All right. Anybody else think Ryanair might probably in the right? Or if you're working in this company, what will be your line of defense? Going strictly with the GDPR list of mandatory controls that you have to meet. Everyone agrees with Adrian?
Yes, sir. I think I agree with him.
Okay. Okay. So I also think, frankly, there is a case. So we'll see how this plays out, right? $1 billion company. They have a lot of muscles to flex and some lawyers to come to their aid and some security professionals to come to their aid as well. So we see how this plays out in court. So with that, we are going to jump into tonight's topic that we are going to be discussing. But as we are moving on, just to let you know, we're still running our Christmas 30% off all courses that we are offering, with exception of there are 2 new courses that we just brought up. That is a 50% off. And for tomorrow, we encourage all of you to come support our graduating interns. They've really done a lot of hard work, going through 2.5 months working on different cybersecurity projects, and we encourage you to join us to celebrate them tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern to 11 a.m. Eastern. And for our AI governance specialist training that we discussed last week during Cyber Chat, it is starting on the 20th. I think all the information has been posted on the different platforms. We are going to post it tonight also as well. You can go on our website, Eretmis Academy, and you're going to see this course in the stack of courses that we have on there. Ubira, please go ahead.
Yeah, Dr. Hi. Sorry, we're supposed to also meet with you at 10 a.m. tomorrow. So is there a conflict or
No,
that's for the
that was going to be
24th?
pushed to the right, but that announcement will be made tonight.
Okay, okay,
Yes.
that's fine. Thanks.
Yes. All right. So, and then also for our cloud security, that is also starting. The AI governance is starting on the 20th. Cloud security is starting on the 16th. So, if you want to enroll in any of these courses, you can jump in. The 50% ends on the 24th, and then it will come back to 30% for all the other courses that for the Christmas promotion, right? And for folks looking to jump into the cybersecurity space, our cybersecurity entry-level course is the right path for you. From no IT background, no cybersecurity background, you can still jump into the cybersecurity space. But this course takes you through cybersecurity fundamentals, build you all the way up to intermediate level knowledge and skill. And then you jump into our internship where you actually going to practice what you've learned so far by working on different cybersecurity projects for 2 of our sister companies. And for folks looking to specialize in a niche in cybersecurity, you can look at our PCI DSS training, our payment security compliance training. This is arguably one of the lucrative niches in the cybersecurity space. Our highest paying students, right? Our highest paying, the highest paying students that we've had so far, doing one job and getting paid 200 plus. He's from the PCI class, right? So look into the PCI or payment security sector when it comes to looking for a niche within the cybersecurity space. And for our new GRC internship, our new cohort is going to start on the 25th of January. We've started our most current one already. It is running. And folks on there, we've just done one project for them, and they can attest to what they are going through and what is ahead of them. And for our folks also graduating tomorrow, you can join us and listen in on the projects that they did and their own personal experience going through this. This program really gives you everything that you need to be able to function on the job as a security professional. So if you are looking to bridge the gap between knowledge, studying, and not really doing, this is the place for you to really bridge that gap, for you to be able to work on different cybersecurity projects and understand security really well from the perspective of how it's executed, right? And then also our WhatsApp group, like I discussed earlier, you can join our WhatsApp group and stay up to date with all cybersecurity happenings and everything that we are doing in the Eretmis family. And our YouTube channel, what we are doing now is being transmitted on YouTube, and all our previous cyber chats are also on YouTube as well. So for tonight, we are looking at 2025, what is installed for cybersecurity professionals in 2025. So in 2025, career growth, career opportunities in cybersecurity. Cybersecurity has come to stay. It is going to become bigger and bigger and bigger because of digital landscape, attackers, also growing smarter and smarter and smarter, and threats are becoming more and more and more. The need for security professionals is only going to grow, right? Now, AI is not going to reduce the need for security professionals. Some people have that kind of thought, AI cannot do what a cybersecurity professional is going to do, right? AI has its place in cybersecurity. It helps us streamline most of the things we do, but it cannot replace a human being functioning in a cybersecurity role, right? And in 2025, the field is going to continue to expand, offering various career growth options and career growth path for cybersecurity professionals or folks who want to jump into the cybersecurity space. Now, there are going to be a lot of, or there are diverse career paths in the cybersecurity space. We are going to look at some of them, and it is only going to grow based on the reasons that I gave. Regulatory compliance, we saw one GDPR, and these compliance frameworks, they keep changing, right? So, and a very good example is PCI. The PCI space keeps changing, and to navigate a company through the PCI metrics is not easy. So you need a dedicated professional, cybersecurity professional who are specialized in PCI, or cybersecurity professional specialized in different areas of discussion to be able to help companies navigate the complexity of some of the compliance or regulatory compliance needs in the cybersecurity space, right? So for you to be able to thrive, for you to be able to grow within the cybersecurity space in 2025, we are going to look at some key areas that you have to look at to help you grow. If you grow in those areas, or your focus is on developing yourself in those areas, 2025 will be for you to excel in the cybersecurity space. Now, we are going to look at the cybersecurity industry, the landscape so far in 2024, as we are moving into 2025. What are we looking at, or what is installed for us? So in terms of growth, there's exponential growth in the cybersecurity space. Global cybersecurity market is projected to grow by 252 billion by 2025, up from it was 156 billion in 2020. So you can see the growth it's been gradually, exponentially increasing. Now, increase in cyber threats, the rise in ransomware attacks this year, next year is also going to be, it is also going to increase, right? Since 2020, cyber attacks, they've grown almost by 300%, right? And that is from a report from, I think it was from Interpol or FBI. I stand to be corrected on that. But the growth has been almost 300% during the era of COVID. Now, increased cyber attacks, like I just said, it is not going down anytime soon. So that calls for the need for more skilled cybersecurity professionals and diverse sectors. So demand, from different industries, finance, healthcare, government, and technological companies. All these industries are pulling from the limited resources of cybersecurity professionals out there, right? Now, somebody might also ask, so if the demand is that high, then, why am I not getting a job? Very easy. Now, the demand is high, but then also is the highest demand in IT now, but also to fill a cybersecurity role, it takes companies 25% longer than any other IT role. So to fill any IT role, it doesn't take them that long. For cybersecurity role, it takes them 25% longer. Reason being that for every cybersecurity role, you are going to go through at least 3 interviews. They really want to know that you have what it takes to be able to help them, right? They don't want to hire people and the next day they have to go look for somebody else. And because the role is very critical to what they do as a company and protecting the IT assets, it takes them longer, right? So if you go to 1 or 2 interviews and they are like, no, we are not moving on with you, 2 things, right? Maybe you are unable to demonstrate well enough for them to see what you are bringing to the table, right? Or you just don't know, you don't have the skill sets and knowledge needed to be able to, perform the job, right? So if you've gone through a training like our whole entire stack, any of our trainings that we have that comes with internship, you've gone through the internship, I can assure you, you have more than what it takes to do the job. But now it comes down to your delivery, right? How do you let them know that you can do the job, right? So that is why we do job placement as well. We do one-on-one sessions with our students before they go to interviews. So to help polish you up on your delivery, mostly for our students, it comes to delivery, right? How well you'll be able to articulate what you know and what you've done, right? So, but for other students, other people trying to get into the industry, we cannot speak about that. We can say that because for our students, when they do land their cybersecurity jobs, nobody is running back to seek for help in doing the job. They are all able to function effectively, and all of them. We 100% for that we can tell you 100%. Nobody comes back seeking for help because of the kind of training they've gone through and the internship they've gone through, right? So the jobs are there, but you have to one, the 2 main things. You have to have the skills and knowledge to be able to do the job, and if you have that already, how do you portray that for your potential employer to know that you actually have what it takes? So mostly that becomes, the area that you have to polish upon. So if you've gone through any of our Eretmis training and you are struggling with interviews, for the first item is you are wrong because you should be reaching out for help. You shouldn't be doing this on your own. And if you are reaching out for help, we are going to go through interviews that you've done already, if you have the recording and all that, to help you polish up and for you to portray that, yes, you have what it takes to be able to do the work. And when you do get the job, for that, we can assure you, you'll be able to function effectively, right? So employment statistics, the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics projects a 33% increase in employment for information security analysts. So you can bundle this for all cybersecurity professionals from 2023 to 2023 to 2033, right? So 2025 all throughout 2023, there's a 33% growth. And this, I can see for the foreseeable future, is only going to increase. In the United States currently, there is over about 500,000 unfilled cybersecurity jobs. So like I said earlier, the jobs are there, right? You just have to prove that you have what it takes to be able to deliver, right? Now, cybersecurity remains a priority for most organizations today, based on the type of threats that they are encountering and based on some of the financial issues that companies can run into if they get breached or they are not in compliance with certain types of frameworks or data privacy laws, right? So now we are going to look at some of the driving factors that is driving the demand for security professionals. And then we are going to look at what you need as a security professional to be able to also succeed in 2025. So evolving threats, that keeps coming up. Cyber criminals, they are using AI and everything else that we are using to, deepfake for social engineering, advanced ransomware tactics, and all that. So that calls for the demand for more cybersecurity professionals. Now, global digitalization, we are all a big network now. The internet makes the whole entire world a big network. And this is only going to increase. It is gradually going to increase. And the more we are using smart things, so Internet of Things, the more we are, using cloud computing as a form of doing business and coming up with smart cities, smart cars, and everything, we are only increasing our attack surface. And that makes us more vulnerable to different types of attacks, which also translates into the demand for security professionals to, monitor and man this space as well. Now, regulatory compliance issues. So for different countries, for the different industries, they have different cybersecurity frameworks and data privacy frameworks that we have to follow, or that companies will have to follow. An example is what I gave for GDPR, the example that we looked at. So you think now Ryanair, if they were not, looking at GDPR well, or they were not taking it seriously, how they will definitely, take it more seriously, because no company wants to pay 500, almost $450 million in fines simply because they couldn't follow some simple data privacy laws, right? So the need for security professionals, I cannot stress on that enough. It's like saying we should reduce the number of police officers in our city, or because crime is going down. Crime, sometimes it might take a different, toll, but crime is never going to literally go out, or, there's never going to be zero crime. Crime is always going to be there. So there's going to always be the need for professionals who are in that space to protect us from such crimes. Now, global market growth, we discussed this already, is projected to reach 252 billion by 2025. Cybersecurity spending reflects the critical role cybersecurity is in business continuity and what we do in business today. And then also talent shortage. So there is a big gap in cybersecurity roles and cybersecurity talent. But like I said earlier, that also doesn't mean they'll be handing out cybersecurity roles like candy. Because why would you hire a driver who cannot drive rather than not to have a driver and be actively looking for one, right? So if you hire a driver who cannot drive, you're going to end up in the hospital, or probably in the head, because you're going to be involved in an accident of some sort, right? So these companies, they are it takes them, like I said, longer, 25% longer than to fill cybersecurity roles than to fill other IT roles, right? So, but the good news is the jobs are there. There's a shortage. So it's up to you to polish up on your delivery during interviews for them to know, yes, you have what it takes and you can do the job. Because for everybody on here, if you've been attending even Cyber Chat enough, I think when you get a job, you should be able to, based on whatever training that you had before getting into a role, you should be able to function a little bit more effective than other folks. Emerging career path in the cybersecurity field for 2025. So some of the key, or some of the core roles, these are not necessarily emerging. These are some of the core roles that we have already. So security engineer, security analyst, GRC specialist, all that, cybersecurity manager, name it, a whole list. All those roles are your core roles. Information security analyst, information assurance analyst, all those are part of your core roles. Now, aside the typical ones, security engineer, security analyst, and the ones that I mentioned, ethical hacking, pen testers, threat intelligence analyst, cloud security specialist, right? Now, cloud security specialist, not necessarily part of we can label it as core role, but I think is really, I'll classify it in the emerging roles, some of the emerging roles, right? Now, all these different roles, they have different things that they have going on that they are doing. On the ethical side, so I'm just going to go with blue team, red team. So for these two, you are going to be on the blue team, on the defensive side of security. Offensive side, we have ethical hacking, pen testing, forensics and those areas. Threat intelligence, you're also going to be on the defensive side. Cloud security, obviously, on the defensive side. And you are ensuring that everything that we are doing in the cloud is safe. Now, for folks who have gone through different programs, if you are looking to add up to your cloud security knowledge and skill, then join our cloud class that is coming up in January. For advanced roles, we have, this is by no means all the list, your CISO, Chief Information Security Officer, your Chief Security Officer, and other roles, similar roles. Those are more in the advanced, and management, those are in the C-suite and the management space. Now, for AI cybersecurity specialist, that is also going to be part of the emerging roles. So for cloud security, for AI cybersecurity, that will be part of the emerging roles, right? And this is also going to be tied into AI governance, right? AI governance. So that, I think, in the foreseeable future, what I envision is that AI governance is gradually going to make its way into GRC, mainstream cybersecurity GRC, right? They're going to have it to the point where it is going to be a blend of the two, right? Cybersecurity GRC and AI governance as a blend of the two. So if you're a security professional with both, a security professional with AI governance, that is also going to be something to look out for in 2025, right? Now, risk management specialist, that is different roles in this space can also be classified under the advanced roles as well, right? Now, let's look at some of the key career path in 2025. So in 2025, for your entry level to mid-level roles, your traditional ones that we discussed, cybersecurity analyst, GRC specialist, information assurance analyst, name it, your SOC analyst, all those roles, those will be kind of part of your cybersecurity analyst / all the other ones that I mentioned. For the offensive side, and this falls under the defensive side of security. For the offensive side, we're still looking at pen testing. So penetration testers, ethical hackers, which, I mean, they are one of the same. And then also your forensics and everybody within that space. That is one of the foundational roles or the entry level to mid-level roles in the security space. This has been there for a while. 2025 is still going to remain as such. Now, incident response analysts and disaster recovery, and then also business continuity, and people who work in that GRC, that can also, we can link GRC to that as well. That is also going to still be in existence and still be there. Now, for cloud security specialists, still same thing, one of the emerging roles, but for entry to mid-level, so these are some of the roles that you should be looking out for as well. And for, I think for cloud security, for security professionals who are looking to also specialize in the cloud space, cloud security, specialize in cloud security is a very easy transition. Most of the techniques and skills that we use in protecting information data in the on-prem is similar. What you have to add to that is you have to know how to maneuver your way around in the cloud, right? So some of the advanced roles, mid-level to senior level roles, threat intelligence. So for the roles that we just looked at, right, for these ones, we can also classify some of these as senior roles. For senior roles, they are going to add senior to it. So you can have senior cybersecurity analyst, right? Senior incident response analyst and roles like that. But for these ones also, we can have the junior version of these roles as well. Threat intelligence analyst, you can have a junior version of this title. And then also for cybersecurity architect, you can have a junior version of it. Risk management specialist or risk analyst, all the risk roles, you can have a junior or senior part of it also as well, right? So in 2025, all these are still going to remain intact in the foreseeable future. Now, for AI cybersecurity specialist, also as an advanced role, because now AI is gradually catching up with everything that we are doing. So there can be a senior role for this and a junior role for this also as well. But mostly for junior roles, I've not seen much in this space, because for you to do this, we expect you to have been in security, and you should understand and know security already, right? So at least this will be mid to senior level role. Now, for executive and strategic roles, still with kind of on the same lines with your advanced, we are looking at your CISO, CSO, and sometimes even your CIO will act as the CISO for the company, right? So, and then also your risk strategist, cyber risk strategist for the company. And there are a lot of other roles in this space, but the ones that we are looking at are mostly like the traditional ones that we have. So in 2025, this is still going to be what we are looking at, and a little bit more. Maybe some new rules are going to come up. But so far as what we know to now, we can only guesstimate and project into 2025. So the traditional roles that we know, they are not going to go away. Cloud security and AI is the new areas to look at, right? So before we move on, our 30% discount is still going on. And then graduation tomorrow, we encourage everyone to come and help us celebrate our GRC interns who've gone through 2 months plus working on different projects. And this, for everybody who've gone through this, it's very demanding, stressful. And so if you've been able to go through this and they've come out successfully on the other side, we have to support them and congratulate them. And for our GRC, our AI governance specialist training, we are starting on the 20th of next month, which is the new year. And then also for our cloud security professional, we are also starting that on the 16th of January, which is out of the new year. And for folks looking to join the ranks of cybersecurity professionals, our cybersecurity entry-level course is the best course for you to do that. And for folks also looking to specialize, if you're already in IT, already in cybersecurity, our PCI, payment security, compliance specialization is an area for you to look at as well. And also for folks who've gone through other GRC training elsewhere, and you are looking to bridge the gap between what you know and what you can do, our GRC internship is the way for you to go, right? Now, let's look at some of the key drivers of growth in cybersecurity for 2025. Now, some of the things to look out for in terms of technological advancement in the cybersecurity space is artificial intelligence and machine learning. We've done, I think, 2 or 3 cyber chats on this. You can check out AI and machine learning on our YouTube channel. You see the cyber chats that we did previously on these topics. So if you're a cybersecurity professional or you are, aspiring to get into the cybersecurity space, you have to at least get familiarize yourself with AI and machine learning, right? Not necessarily, go through and become like a coder who is going to build AI tools or AI algorithms, but at least know how the AI space operates and machine learning, also how it functions. Because as a security professional, your job is to maintain security in the different aspects of IT, right? So you don't have to sit and be blindsided by AI, right? So in the cybersecurity space, one of the things that you have to do is you have to be a lifelong learner, right? So you are constantly improving and updating yourself. Now, also Internet of Things, as security professionals, this is one of our biggest headaches. But as we get more Internet of Things, you also have to make sure you are keeping up to speed and up to date with it in terms of the type of threats that can easily take advantage of Internet of Things and how to secure Internet of Things for yourself personally and also for your companies that you are going to be working for. Because for Internet of Things protection, it's not just from the company perspective. I think if you look at companies and individuals, as individuals, we use more Internet of Things than companies, right? So your smartphones are not considered Internet of Things, and your computers are not part of that group. But your smartwatch, smart TV, smart fridge, smart scale, smart everything, right? People even have smart books, smart pen. All those are Internet of the Things that we are using on the personal level. And those items are very easy for attackers to breach, right? Because the manufacturers of Internet of Things items, their focus is not on security, their focus is on usability and how cool their product will look, right? So as security professionals, that is one of our biggest headaches, whether in the organization or on the individual level. So as a security professional, you should be looking out for ways, techniques, and strategies, some of the things that we can do to make sure Internet of Things are also kept, safe. And quantum computing. Now, this is one area that has been also, surfacing. Quantum computing is gradually, coming up, just like how AI was building speed, and it has come to this point. This is totally going to change most of the things we do in cybersecurity. Reason being that, all these encryption algorithms that we are using, you hear that, DES, which is a symmetric encryption algorithm, is obsolete, right? It has been cracked, so you don't have to use it anymore. It's not safe. SSL is not safe because it's been cracked. You don't have to use it anymore. Now we are using TLS, latest versions of TLS. We are using AES, right? All these are all these are types of encryption algorithms. Now AES is SSL, and them are encryption protocols. Now, for AES and other ones that are strong and nobody has been able to crack it, is because we don't have the computation. Whoever or attackers or researchers, they don't have the computational capabilities to crack it. Quantum computing is going to make it easy for you to crack encryption algorithms like that in seconds, right? So as we are moving into the quantum space, we also have to look at different ways or using quantum computing to also come up with different encryption algorithms that are stronger than what we have, right? So you have to constantly be educating yourself about the quantum space also, as well as a security professional, right, to stay ahead of the curve. So these are some of the key areas to look out for in 2025. Read more about it, familiarize yourself more about it, and you are going to be successful in 2025 as a security professional. Now, when it comes to regulatory development and the regulatory space in terms of compliance, also keeping up to date with regulatory compliance obligations such as data privacy laws, compliance laws, or compliance standards is also going to help you as a security professional in 2025. So, for example, GDPR in Europe, the example that we looked at, CCPA in California, now Virginia, New York, and I don't know, some other states, they've all come up with their own versions of CCPA. CCPA is for California, but what I mean is that they've come up with their own versions of data privacy regulations and frameworks, right? So as a security professional, you have to be keeping up to date with all of them. Because if the company you are trying to work for, if you are going to an interview and the company is based in New York and they are asking you, okay, what are you bringing to the table? What can you do for our company? All these are things that you can talk about, right? So these are the regulatory compliance, that your company has to stay in compliance with by virtue of you being in New York, by virtue of you operating in this industry. And this is how I'm going to go about it, helping you stay in compliance. Or these are some of the strategies and techniques that I've used in the past that have helped to, help other companies or help the company I used to work for to stay in compliance, right? That shows you are current when it comes to, or you are, somebody who updates themselves with industry happenings when it comes to the regulatory side of it. Because the compliance aspect of cybersecurity, it can break or unbreak a company, right? Everything else that you are doing, you can be doing it on your own terms. You can choose to do certain things and not do others. That will be fine. But you don't have the luxury of staying in compliance with a regulatory or mandated regulatory standard or framework, right? You don't have that luxury. You have to. So if you fail, and some of these, if you fail, you are going to pay fines until you are able to pass. So, for example, for PCI, if you fail PCI compliance as a company, the payment card brand, they are going to fine you. And depending on the size of your company, you can be fined all the way up to the tune of the 100,000s, 200,000s per every month that you are not in compliance, right? And companies, they are in business to make money, not to lose money to, things like this, right? So, as a security professional, you have to be updating yourself with different regulatory compliance, making sure if there are changes, like the changes that we just went through this year for PCI, they came up with version 4. We moved from version 3.2.1 to version 4. And, just when you were, kind of familiarizing yourself and getting a firm grasp of version 4, they just came up with version 4.0.1, right? So you have to constantly, although the change is not huge, you have to constantly be keeping up to date, or I'll say up to speed with what is going on in the regulatory space as well. Now, data protection laws and regulations also fall within what I was talking about, right? And for increased budgets in the cybersecurity space, is also going to influence everything else that we are doing. And for companies are increasing their budgets by at least 15% from what they spent in 2024. So 2025, we can see more money on the cybersecurity side, which translates into more money for cybersecurity professionals, right? So hopefully, maybe 2025, and this is just speculating, the minimum or average cybersecurity salary is going to jump from 116 to maybe 130, right? That would be nice. Skills for you to succeed in 2025. So for technical skills, what are we looking at in 2025? Now, there is not a big change. The big change is going to be in the cloud side and the AI side, like we discussed. Proficiency in scripting and programming. Now, this is for people who are interested on the red team or offensive side of cybersecurity, right? So if you want to do ethical hacking, if you want to do forensics, you have to know some programming language, right? If you want to come on the blue side, you want to do anything else aside ethical hacking and anything on the offensive side, you don't necessarily need to know any coding or do any programming, right? Now, knowledge of security frameworks and compliance regulations and standards, like what we discussed of. So these are some of the skills that you need. At least as a security professional, you should know at least 2 or 3 compliance frameworks, know them well. So for example, like for our internship that we do, our interns, they use NIST Cybersecurity Framework, ISO 27701, CIS Controls version 8.1, right? That is what they use to do their audit and use to do their baselines and others. So by the time you are done with the internship, you are very familiar with these frameworks, right? And then you can always add to it, go do PCI and others. Now for cloud security also, you have to know at least some fundamentals when it comes to cloud security, right? How organizations are going to secure the infrastructure, because now almost every organization, if they are not fully operating in the cloud, they are doing hybrid. So half cloud, half on-premise. So you should know your way around the cloud to be able to help defend them in the cloud space. You should know some, for folks who want to go into the offensive side, pen testing side, you should know some pen testing tools. For everybody else on the blue side, on the defensive side, you should also know at least, a tool, cybersecurity tool from each from most of the broad categorizations. So for vulnerability scanners, SIM tools, SOAR tools, others, you should know at least a tool from each of them. Now, the tools you don't have to, and these tools are expensive, right? For, let's say, for example, if you want to get a Nessus scanner, vulnerability scanner, it will cost you anywhere from $4,000 to $5,000, right? Now, you cannot purchase all these different tools just to learn them Most of these tools, they have free versions, and that is what we use in the entry level. They have free versions that you can use to practice with, right? The free versions they are almost the same as the paid versions, right? So you can use those to practice with. So as a security professional for 2025, at least know a tool or two, right? Know some of the tools, familiarize yourself, use some of the tools, and you're going to be successful. Now for AI governance and management, you should also know or have some basic working knowledge when it comes to AI governance and management, because your companies are going to need it, right? And as a security professional, if they need anything AI governance related, you are going to be the first point of call, because as of now, companies, they don't have, even folks who are AI employees, they are there to code and to come up with AI algorithms, not just for the governance and the management of it. So everything is going to be directed to you, especially if you work in the GRC space. Now, some of the emerging skills, like we talked about, AI and machine learning proficiency. So knowing your way around AI and machine learning, understanding the fundamentals and the basics of it. Blockchain security. So blockchain security, still, since the coin space is still ongoing. If it is an area that you also have to look at as a security professional, the blockchain space is an area that you have to look at in terms of like securing the blockchain, right? And then quantum cryptography. So what we talked about, quantum computing is going to totally change what we do when it comes to cryptography, right? Algorithms that were very strong are going to be cracked very easily. So we have to come up with, something else that is going to be stronger, right? So these are some of the emerging skills, and then we can add. I think for now, for 2023, for 2025, these are some of the key areas to look out for. So AI, machine learning, blockchain security, quantum cryptography. These are some of the key areas to look at. Now, for soft skills, we've talked about all these technical skills. For soft skills, we are looking at the traditional. For the soft skills space, really nothing has really changed, right? You can even add more soft skills to this. This is by no means the whole entire list. You know how I'm very passionate, and I really want every cybersecurity professional to focus more also on soft skills than just your technical skills. Now, for soft skills, your critical thinking, communication, being adaptable, being able to adapt and being flexible, your attention to detail. So there is a whole list when it comes to soft skills. Now, a place for you to get almost all the soft skills that are needed in cybersecurity is by looking at the cybersecurity competency model. We looked at that a while ago. If you go through our cybersecurity for beginners course, we discussed the cybersecurity competency model. It breaks down the skills you need in cybersecurity into 5 main tiers, and tier 1 to 3, or tier 1 to 4 covers purely soft skills, right? It's tier 4 and 5 that covers technical cybersecurity skills and knowledge. So that shows you that cybersecurity, in the cybersecurity space, at least you need some high-level soft skills to be able to function effectively. Mahmoud, please go ahead. You had your hand up.
So going based on, I think you were on the decentralized, I think a blockchain. So the question I had in mind was, I discovered that I think I saw a research whereby some companies are accepting payment, right, through the blockchain. And it's, in fact, this shipping company actually, created a coin, and then they are accepting coin, the coin they created, as a form of payment. So I was not thinking that, like, there is no regulation controlling that aspect, because now that means they can go around PCI and not follow their compliance, and then use that form of payment. So I don't know
no,
how
so let me, before you even land, let me help you out here.
Okay.
Blockchain and cryptocurrency and all that has nothing to do with PCI. Right. I mean, that is a different conversation, but cryptocurrency has nothing to do with PCI. Cryptocurrency has nothing to do with Visa, Master, American Express, Discover, and it has nothing to do with that. Cryptocurrency is doing their own thing.
Yeah, but that's the point. So that means they can decide to say we're not going to use this. Like this is our own form of payment. Now they don't have to keep in compliance with anything. So I mean,
So
they can.
if you are not accepting credit card, debit card from Visa, Master, American Express, and those folks, you don't have to stay in compliance with PCI. Right. Now, as a company, if you are creating your own blockchain and your own coin for customers to use, and how you go about it is on you, right? But if your customers will have to purchase the coin with a credit card or debit card, then you're accepting credit card and debit card for payment. You understand what I mean?
That makes sense.
Yeah, but if they have to get the coin from somebody, whoever they are using real money to purchase your crypto money from, if they are using credit card or debit card to purchase the crypto money, then they have to stay in compliance with PCI DSS. Whoever is on the receiving end, receiving the credit card or debit card, will have to stay in compliance with PCI DSS. So,
Okay.
I mean, in the crypto space,
Mhm.
I mean, we can, discuss it all day, but you are literally using money to buy money and then using that money to make a transaction. So, I mean, wherever you are going to start with, if you're not using cash to buy that crypto money, and you're using credit card, debit card to buy the crypto money, then whoever is receiving the credit card or debit card and processing it to give you the crypto money will have to stay in compliance with PCI. So you can't go around. The moment you are touching credit card, debit cards, you can't go around PCI. All right, but good question.
Thank you.
So yes, let's jump into some of the certifications. So certifications, not really a big change from 2024. For your traditional certifications from CompTIA, Security Plus, Security Analyst, Pen Test, CAPS Plus, they're still going to, these certifications are still going to be in existence. And for folks start off with Security Plus, for all certifications, start off with Security Plus in the cybersecurity space. And then you can jump into Security Analyst and then later look into some of these advanced ones. Now, like I always say, yes, and this is not just, but I'll say just passing a certification doesn't mean you can do the job. Because I can tell you countless number of people that I've run into who will be parading around. Oh, I have Security Plus, I have CISA, I have this, yeah, but I can still find a job and ask them one kindergarten cybersecurity question, and they are all over the place. A question that anybody who really took their time and learned for Security Plus without just memorizing test questions to pass the exam can answer. And they're all over the place. Oh, and then the next thing is because I don't have working experience. What I'm asking you is knowledge based. It's not, you don't need to work in cybersecurity to know which protocols are weak and why they are weak, and which protocols are secured, or which ones are strong, and why we use this protocol, not that protocol. That is knowledge. It's not working in the industry is not going to bring that to you. And two, you cannot do what you don't know. That is what most people don't know. You cannot do what you don't know. Right? So everything before you do, you start from knowledge. You have to know, and then you do, then you are building your skills, and it will gradually end up being an ability. Right? But most people want to skip the knowledge piece and just memorize test questions and pass the certification, because some people have that mentality that if you have the certification, then that's it. You are going to get a job, and they are going to train you on the job. It's like you saying you can memorize the test questions to get a driver's license without knowing how to drive or even understanding road signs by just memorizing test questions. And then when you get the license, because you have a license, you're going to get a job as a driver, and then they're going to teach you how to drive on the job. It doesn't work that way, right? So certifications, they are good, but don't get ahead of yourself by just, oh, I'll have to get SIM, I have to get CISA, I have to get this, and all you do is purchase some, we call it dump questions. Purchase some dump, memorize test questions, and then go pass, and then say, oh, I have CISA, you can have it all you want. But if we ask you things that you're supposed to know when you have CISA and you don't know them, then whom are you deceiving, right? And that is where most people run into frustration about, oh, I have these certifications and I'm going to interviews and I'm going to ask them just one simple. And for those folks, I'll ask you, frankly, deep down in your heart, if you are given a role today, would you be able to do it? And the ones who are very, for lack of better, word, the ones who are very ignorant will say, oh, yeah, of course I can do it. The ones who have some, level of insight into what it entails will say, yeah, I think I might. But the ones who are very sure of themselves because they just memorize some test questions and they pass Security Plus or Security Analyst or CISA will swear heaven and earth they can do the job. But ask them one simple cybersecurity question. And it's not even an application question. It's a knowledge-based question and they're all over the place. And now they want to go back and hide behind because they've not worked in the industry. But like I said, you didn't work in the industry, but you're able to pass Security Plus. And Security Plus, all these exams, they are testing your knowledge, right? So if you pass Security Plus and I'm asking you questions from Security Plus and you can't answer me, then I know how you got your certification. So for everybody on here, let's not get into that habit. Having the certification, if you have Security Plus, I respect you for that because I know what it takes to get Security Plus. Now, if you took a shortcut, it's good. You still passed anyways, but go back and start going through the Security Plus material. Make sure you are familiarizing yourself with it really well because you don't want to be holding something that you cannot defend. And what most people forget is you are the Security Plus, not the piece of paper you are holding. That is why if you are going to an interview, if you apply for a job, they gave you an interview, you go to the interview, they are not going to tell you to bring your certifications during the interview for them to see that you actually have it. You said you have Security Plus. Okay, you have it. Now, how you're going to answer your questions or how you're able to exhibit your expertise will demonstrate whether indeed you have Security Plus or you just passed the exam, right? So you are the certification, not the piece of paper you are holding. And the certification comes with a body of knowledge and skill that you have to know. So if you are just chasing certification, that you can get it all you want. If your goal is to display it in your living room and be happy about it, that's fine. But if you are trying to get a job with it, even if maybe they like you or they are so wild about your certifications and they give you the job because they don't know any better, eventually it is going to catch up on, they are going to catch up like things are going to catch up to you because you wouldn't be able to perform or function on the job, right? So for the traditional certifications, your Security Plus, Security Analyst from CompTIA, your ISC Square certifications, CISA, CISSP, and others. For ISACA, you have your CISA, SIM, and other certifications as well. Now, for folks who want to get into the penetration testing side or offensive side, offensive security, OSCP has the best certification when it comes to pen testing. And then you have, ethical CEH. Now, CEH, really, if you want to be a real pen tester, CEH shouldn't be your target, right? CEH is exams based. You're just going to still do multiple choice like you do for any other. But for OSCP, you're actually going to hack into systems. You're going to do what we call capture the flag. And so the test is you are practically hacking into things, right? You are not just writing some exams that you can memorize answers for. And then you have your cloud security certifications from AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud also that you can, shoot for, right? So for AI governance and AI certifications, that is something that maybe probably we might see more of in 2025. Still, the space is still a bit new. So all these certification bodies, they don't even have anything in that space yet. So probably, but I foresee them coming up with something as we are going through 2025. Now, for education and upscaling, formal education is good. Now, for everybody on here, if you are looking to get a master's in cybersecurity or a bachelor's in cybersecurity, what I would encourage you to do first is get some training, get a job in cybersecurity before you go do these degrees. I mean, degree is good, but I wouldn't go do a master's in cybersecurity and not know how to do the job, because then I'm still going to come back and go learn how to do the job or go take some training, right? Or even if you go through and you do bachelor's, go through a training like an entry-level course and other trainings that we have, get yourself a job, and then sometimes your companies will even pay for your degree programs that you are going to go into, right? Our continuous learning is what everybody on here is doing. Enroll in courses, attend webinars like what we are doing, participate in conferences and webinars like exactly what we are doing. We do this every Friday night, and we have a lot of loyal Eretmis family members who always join us every Friday night. Now, join professional organizations like ISACA, ISE Square, OAPS, and others. There are a lot of them out there. You can join them, enroll with their email list, right? And when they send out emails about different things going on in the industry, a very big one, before I forget, NIST. Go to NIST website, sign up for their newsletters and email, because everything you are going to learn a lot from NIST. They are coming up with different frameworks, different every single day, right? So that is a place to really keep up to date with what is going on in the cybersecurity space. And then also, most importantly, for strategy for career growth, hands-on experience. Anything that you are learning in the cybersecurity space, make sure you are getting hands-on experience, right? So if you want to do ethical hacking, make sure you are doing some capture the flag projects, you are doing some bounty hunt, bug bounty programs for everybody on the blue side, enrolling in an example, our internship and workshop, GRC internship and workshop is a way to work on live projects. For folks who want to join the AI governance program, we have internship coming with it. Cloud security also comes with internship. PCI comes with internship. So for the trainings that we offer, we focus really more on hands-on experience, because we just don't want to make you somebody with just theoretical knowledge about what you are going to do, but also doing it adds more to your knowledge base when it comes to that space, right? So for everything that you can do in terms of strategy, the key takeaways that I'm going to stress on is hands-on experience, and then staying current with what is going on in the industry. There are some interviews that you're going to go to, and they are going to ask you what is going on in the cybersecurity space. You should be able, if you are staying up to date, this shouldn't be a trick question, or this shouldn't be something too hard for you to answer, right? So that is what I'm going to say about your strategy for 2025. Now, what are some of the industry challenges that also we can project into 2025? So 2025, still the talent gap in the cybersecurity space. And the talent gap is now going to gradually shift into AI-related roles, because even for general cybersecurity, there's a talent gap. Now, AI is also, gradually getting up there in terms of talent gap. So if you're in the cyberspace, look into getting some AI knowledge and skill to what you have already. That way, you become more marketable and a valuable player in your organization. Now, burnout, some cybersecurity roles are high-pressured roles, and tendency for you to be stressed out and, for people to leave that role is high. There have been a couple of students who had jobs and they went in for a second role. Some of those second jobs were kind of too demanding, so they had to let it go, right? But like I tell everybody, before you get a second job, make sure you get some more insight into what that job is going to entail, right? Because if you have a job that is very demanding in terms of meetings and stuff like that, and you get another one, in the same space, very demanding in meetings, and you wouldn't be able to combine it even if both of them are remote, right? So you should have a balance. So burnout, folks leaving their roles, and some of these burnouts also on the flip side is people who are able to fall through the cracks. They really don't know much and they have not worked on any project and they cannot do the job, but maybe they are good in articulating themselves and they were liked during the interview and they're given the role. Those people will fall into this category. High pressure roles. That role might not even be a high pressure role, but you are going to be in a high pressure role because you don't know what you are doing. So the stress level is going to be high and you end up either, removing yourself from the role or you are getting kicked out of the role. Now, rapid technological changes is also affects us as security professionals because you have to constantly updating yourself on what is going on in terms of new tools and methodologies that are going on in the cybersecurity space, right? So these are some of the challenges that were in 2024 and then also for the foreseeable future. For 2025, AI-related roles is what I can't stress on that enough. You should be on the lookout for, right? So with that, we are wrapping up for tonight, and this is going to be our last cyber chat for the year. So we appreciate everybody's time. Now for the 30%, for everybody who's looking to join any of our programs, and then for our AI governance starting on the 20th, and for our cloud specialists starting on the 16th. And for folks looking to join the cybersecurity ranks, our entry level, you can start at any time. Our PCI compliance security class is also starting on the 28th of January. And our new internship, GRC internship and workshop starts on the 25th, right? With that, you can still join our cybersecurity group, our WhatsApp group, and then our YouTube channel. We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And I'm going to open the floor for any comments, concerns. And I think it was a good question that we answered about cryptocurrency. If there are any similar questions, you can bring it up.
Please, you said the GRC internship start when?
On the 28th.
Of January.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. And for folks who put in the chat where they're joining us from, we will give some shout outs. But before we give the shout outs, I just want to personally appreciate everybody on here. Merry Christmas in advance. Happy holidays. And next year, 2025, we are praying for life and strength. And we are going to take Eretmis Cyber Chat up notch, right? So there are really good stuff that we plan for topics and also other activities that we've planned for 2025. So just be on the lookout for it. Our next meeting for Cyber Chat, we are going to break at Eretmis. We break tomorrow. We are going to resume after the New Year's. So our next Cyber Chat is probably going to be on the 10th. Tentatively, we're shooting for the 3rd, but the 3rd I think is people will still be in the New Year mode, so we are going to push it to the 10th, right? And for all classes that are going on, I think, or for the different classes, they know when we are going to resume next year. So we appreciate everybody's time joining us for Cyber Chat the whole entire year, and we hope this has continuously developed you as a security professional up to this point, and we are going to continue, develop ourselves as security professionals as we move into 2025. And for everybody joining us who put where they're joining us from in the chat, we appreciate you. I think there are a couple of team lives in there. And yeah, I think a lot of team lives. Joe, Michigan, joining us from Michigan. Joe put where he's joining us from. And Mamu's joining us from South Carolina. Ifioma joining us from New Jersey. And Mamu's sending some seasonal greetings. Merry Christmas to everybody. Joanne, Merry Christmas to you as well. The WhatsApp group has been posted, so you can kindly take a look at it. George, how are you doing, George? George is also joining us from Maryland. And Madrobi is joining us from Maryland as well. George is joining us from California. And Andrew is joining us from Ohio. So we appreciate Bobby is joining us from Colorado. and Team Live from Shongo and Illinois, Ademola joining us from Illinois, Edith joining us from Dallas, and Patricia joining us from North Carolina. We appreciate everybody's time. We're wrapping up for the year, and happy holidays to everyone. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year in advance to everyone, because we are going to meet after the New Year's. Have a great weekend, everyone, and happy holidays. Stay safe, and God willing, we are going to meet in the new year.